Hey guys, Bernice here with Place for Resources. Today I hope to help you learn how to have give you some tips on how to have some influence on how to influence a situation. Um, this could work either with your teachers, your spouses, your um, your your boss, your coworkers, anyone, with your parents especially. Um, The steps are to identify the problem, list the things that your solution, what it is that you're willing to do or that could be done to help, and the win win for everyone. The challenge is it's not very effective to try to strong arm someone into your way of doing things or something that you want done. And the example I have for this, or how I learned this, was on my job. I wanted to come in a little later. It was just easier for me, transportation wise. This For me, the traffic would die down. It wouldn't take as long to get to work, and I wouldn't be as frustrated. And so when I asked my boss if I could come in 2 hours later, he said no, because if I did it for you, if I gave you a shift change, then I'd have to do it for everyone else. And I said, okay, granted. I said, well, sometimes I end up staying over for overtime because there would be a hard shift change in the middle, and everybody would leave at the same time. And so sometimes we end up either still being overwhelmed with a little bit of work, and we wanted to make the handoff smooth to the next shift. And if I stayed 15, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours later, then I would bill for that. So so my solution was, when I thought about it, I said, well, actually, you end up paying me sometimes an hour or so for overtime, just because of the work overflow or the overage. So actually, if I said, I do you, I could be doing you guys a favor if I stayed a little later, but maybe if I came in a little later, then I wouldn't have to get the overtime. So, I'm willing to adjust my schedule to help the smooth transition of the shift, and then that way it saves the overtime. And he said, that's a good idea. Yeah, like that's a good idea. Thanks for doing that. And I was amazed that he didn't already realize that he was paying me overtime for this. But sometimes people are so removed from the front line, the front line pieces of it, that they don't really realize what is causing the impact. And so for the employer, of course, they want to keep the budgets low and the overtime low. So when he realized that that was the cause of my personal overtime, and maybe other people's too, then he was more than happy to make that adjustment to help him meet his budgets and his metrics. Now, that's how I learned that, but I started implementing that in other areas. For instance, with my parents, um, my in my relationships, friends. So I always use that. If I want something to change, if I'm going to make a suggestion, I always identify a problem first, or some people call it a pain point. I always identify a problem first, say what I suggest or think that the solution would be, or even an option of solutions, and just demonstrate the win-win for everyone. So hopefully that helps you. It's definitely more effective than to try to force somebody or intimidate that. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. So in this instance, then hopefully this helps you just get a little bit more influence. And then people see you as a problem solver. They will start to identify you as a resource, as a problem solver, because you see problems and you come with solutions. You don't just see problems, but you come with solutions. And sometimes you come with solutions for problems people didn't even know existed, or what the source of it was, or that um, they can even change that. Some of the win-wins, the solutions, the win-wins are, I had to make a list. Um, Maybe for your teacher, your parents, the solution, the win-win is I get a learning opportunity, or we increase efficiency. Um, what was some of the other ones? There's more opportunity or expansion, but particularly for friends and teachers, I'm trying to think how a young adult would apply this to teachers and friends. I mean, to teachers and parents. Probably you just identify what it is they want for you. They want you to have learning opportunities. They want you to have exposure. They want you to develop your problem solving skills. They want you to have more responsibility. So, as you mention these things, this um, thing that I'm presenting will give me those things, and help me develop into a well rounded adult, or continue to develop as a well rounded adult if you are already an adult. Thank you so much for listening. Bernice King here with Place for Resources. Have a great day.